Came to our committee.
Government agencies, ministries and departments should brace for serious budget cuts as government looks to cut its resource envelope from 45.6 trillion to 41.3 trillion shillings.
But at the same time, expenditures, they are going up. Now,
This represents a 4.36 trillion shillings reduction in the budget figures. Despite the budget reduction, the taxpayer will pay more taxes as the Ministry of Finance projects domestic revenue to rise from 21.6 trillion to 22.4 trillion shillings.
The dilemma now is your revenue is not moving as fast as your expenditure is moving. If you have to meet those expenditures, there is only one solution, Mr. Chairman, to borrow. Either borrow internally or borrow externally.
The rest of the budget will be financed, with Petroleum Fund contributing 200 billion shillings, budget support 3.5 trillion, domestic financing 2.3 trillion, project support stroke external financing 3.9 trillion, domestic refinancing 8.5 trillion, and revenue from local governments 212 billion shillings. Finance Minister Matia Kasaija told the Budget Committee of Parliament that the focus of the next financial year budget will be on sustaining the recovery of the economy from the setbacks caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Government has so far spent 1.4 trillion shillings on the COVID-19 interventions. However, the minister contradicted himself on sector allocations, as 30.4% of the budget has been allocated to governance and security and not economic recovery. The security budget has now risen from 3.5 trillion to 7.7 trillion shillings, with MPs questioning this double increment.
You don't spend $1 billion shillings when in your house you have you only have a few chairs, very cheap chairs, you know. You have to protect, but you are spending $1 billion on security. This is the point I'm trying to raise.
So these planes you are buying and the sophisticated gadgets for spying, and youth have no jobs, they will riot and they will spoil the economy. So the whole of your concept, actually that's where the problem is that for you think security anchors the economy. It is the economy that anchors security.
The threats that we are facing, you might not see them, but security people see them. You might say that there is no war in Uganda, but the threats are there. To be in an island where you are surrounded by countries which are not stable is not something that you will say there is no threat.
Please, you have no economy without security. Take it or leave it. I have been here. I saw what happened in 1971-72.
On other sectors, human capital development has been allocated 6.8 trillion, integrated transport infrastructure 3.9 trillion, agro-industrialization 1.4 trillion, regional development 1.2 trillion, development plan implementation 1.09 trillion, sustainable energy development 900 billion, among others. Important also to note is the reduction in external financing from 8.5 trillion to 3.9 trillion, which according to some of the committee members could be due to the perceived buddy relationship between Uganda and the donor partners. But according to the Minister of Finance, this is due to the realignment within these projects being implemented. Herbert Zziwa, NTV at Parliament.